Each morning when we wake up and greet a new day, we have a special opportunity to set the tone for how our day unfolds. It's a moment to center ourselves, tap into our inner strength, and ready our minds for the challenges ahead. But too often, we let the world dictate our mood and mindset before we even have a chance to ground ourselves. In Buddhism, there's a powerful practice that invites us to speak 5 affirmations to ourselves every morning. These simple yet profound affirmations not only shift our mindset, but transform how we engage with life. Whether you're dealing with daily stress, navigating uncertainty, or simply seeking more peace and clarity, these affirmations provide the tools to guide you through it all. In this video, we'll explore how each affirmation connects to the core teachings of Buddhism, helping you cultivate gratitude, embrace impermanence, nurture compassion, walk the path of wisdom, and ultimately, find inner peace. Gratitude is often considered a simple practice, but in Buddhism, it is a gateway to mindfulness. When we acknowledge, "I am grateful for this new day," we are doing more than just recognizing the gift of being alive. We are opening ourselves to the possibilities of growth and learning that each day brings. In this moment, we remind ourselves that life is a series of opportunities, not burdens. In Buddhism, gratitude is not just a reaction to external events. It is an active practice of appreciating both the good and the challenges that life presents. This affirmation helps to shift your mindset away from focusing on what's lacking and toward embracing the abundance of life. It aligns you with the present moment, grounding you in mindfulness and allowing you to see each day as a step in your spiritual journey. How often do we take a new day for granted? Most of us wake up and immediately dive into our to-do lists. But this affirmation encourages us to pause, breathe, and be present. By beginning with gratitude, you set a foundation for the day that is rooted in positivity and openness. Impermanence is one of the most central teachings in Buddhism, yet it's one of the hardest to accept. Everything in life changes: the seasons, our emotions, our relationships, and yet we often cling to things as if they will last forever. "I embrace impermanence" is an affirmation that reminds us of the transient nature of everything. By embracing impermanence, you free yourself from the fear of loss and the anxiety of trying to control the uncontrollable. This affirmation helps you remain flexible and open to change, which is a natural part of life. In times of uncertainty or difficulty, this reminder can be incredibly liberating. When you understand that nothing is permanent, not even your current struggles, you can face life with a lighter heart and more courage. Instead of resisting life's changes, this affirmation teaches you to flow with them. It allows you to let go of attachments that cause suffering and opens the door to embracing each moment as it is. Think about how often we feel frustration when things don't go as planned, or when something we cherish is taken away. This affirmation helps us release that frustration and reminds us that life's fluidity is part of its beauty. Compassion is one of the most transformative practices in Buddhism. Yet, many of us are compassionate toward others while neglecting ourselves. This affirmation, "I cultivate compassion for myself and others," encourages us to take a broader, more inclusive approach to kindness, one that encompasses both self-compassion and compassion for those around us. Why is self-compassion so important? In our day-to-day lives, we are often our harshest critics. We judge ourselves for our mistakes, for not being perfect, for not meeting some unattainable standard. But Buddhism teaches us that compassion must begin with ourselves. By cultivating kindness and understanding for our own shortcomings, we are better equipped to offer that same compassion to others. When you say this affirmation each morning, you set the tone for how you will treat yourself and others throughout the day. You become more mindful of your interactions, more patient with your own limitations, and more empathetic to those around you. Compassion isn't just about reacting to suffering. It's about proactively choosing to approach life with an open heart, no matter what comes your way. Wisdom in Buddhism is not merely about intellectual understanding. It is about realizing the true nature of reality. The affirmation, "I walk the path of wisdom," invites you to commit to lifelong learning, self-awareness, and discernment. Walking this path means continuously seeking clarity and understanding, not just about the world around you, but about your own mind and heart. This affirmation also reminds you that wisdom is not a destination, it's a journey. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, whether through meditation, reflection, or simply observing life as it unfolds. By walking the path of wisdom, you choose to cultivate mindfulness and gain insight into the causes of your own suffering and happiness. In our modern world, we often confuse knowledge with wisdom. But true wisdom comes from lived experience, from applying what we learn through practice. This affirmation is a gentle reminder to keep seeking truth, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult, and to trust in the wisdom that comes from within. The final affirmation, "I am at peace with myself," is perhaps the most profound. In a world that constantly pushes us to achieve more, do more, and be more, inner peace can feel elusive. This affirmation is a declaration that peace is not something to be chased. It is something to be cultivated from within. Buddhism teaches that inner peace comes from letting go of attachments, of cravings, of the need for external validation. When we can be at peace with ourselves, we are no longer swayed by the highs and lows of life. We become anchored in a sense of calm that is not dependent on our external circumstances. Saying this affirmation each morning is a powerful way to center yourself. It reminds you that no matter what happens throughout the day, you have the ability to return to a place of peace within yourself. It's a reminder that your worth is not defined by what you accomplish, but by your inherent nature. Think about how often we allow external events to dictate our emotions. By affirming your peace, you are committing to remaining steady and calm, no matter what the day brings. These 5 affirmations work together to form a complete practice, each one reinforcing the other. When you say them every morning, you are not just setting the tone for your day, you are aligning yourself with the deeper teachings of Buddhism. Gratitude, impermanence, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace, these are not abstract concepts. They are lived experiences that you can cultivate through practice. This daily ritual is simple, but its impact is profound. Over time, you'll find that these affirmations become more than just words. They become a guiding force in how you live, think, and interact with the world. You'll begin to notice subtle shifts in your mindset, your reactions, and your overall sense of well-being. You'll become more present, more compassionate, and more at ease with the flow of life. As you incorporate these affirmations into your morning routine, notice how they transform not only your day, but your entire outlook on life. Which affirmation speaks to you the most? How does it shape the way you face your challenges and embrace your joys? And before you go, remember, this is just the beginning. If you're curious about more transformative practices rooted in Buddhist wisdom, make sure to watch our next video where we explore how mindfulness can help you overcome overthinking and find clarity. Click the link below and continue your journey toward a more mindful, peaceful life.